Hello students, welcome back to class 9th English. Today we will read the extract My Childhood. This My Childhood is extract taken from the autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, book written by him, Wings of Fire. As you all know, APJ Abdul Kalam was a great scientist and he had been also the statesman of India. Abdul Kalam, whose project in space, defense and nuclear technology guided India into the 21st century, and he became the 11th president of India in 2002. So this chapter, My Childhood, is the autobiography of Abdul Kalam. Here he is telling about his childhood from his book Wings of Fire. So now we begin with the chapter. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. So, Sir Abdul Kalam is telling here that he was born in a Tamilian family. That family was a middle class family and was in the erstwhile Madras. So student, here he is telling that he was in erstwhile Madras. Erstwhile means former name of Tamil Nadu was Madras. In the year 1969, Madras was renamed as the Tamil Nadu. So he was born there in the Rameshwaram, small. My father, Jainulabdin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite these advantages, he possessed great innate wisdom. Innate means inborn, by birth. So here sir is telling that his father was not very much educated, nor he don't have much wealth also, but he was very intelligent. He was quite wise person and a true generosity of spirit, and he was quite generous also. He used to entertain the guests. He was very wise person. So here he is appreciating his parents. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashima. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. So Abdul Kalam sir is telling here that in his house daily many people eat the food, and exactly don't remember the exact number that how many people used to come. But here he is telling that I am quite certain that more people came from the outside than what the family members. This shows the generosity of his parents. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall and handsome parents. Here sir is saying that I have many brothers and sisters he is having, and he was born with the undistinguished looks, means he was having the ordinary looks, but his parents were very tall and quite handsome. So here he is having the comparison that he is an ordinary child with the normal features. We lived in our ancestral house. Ancestral means forefathers' house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and bricks on the Mask street of Rameshwaram. So here he is telling that they used to live in the house of the forefathers, which was made in the mid of the 19th century, and it was on the Mosque street in Rameshwaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicines or clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. Here Sir Abdul Kalam says that his father was very austere. Austere means strict, at the same time simple also, and he was very severe. Strict means that he used to say that unessential comforts and luxuries you should avoid. They were having the simple life, whatever necessity, food, in terms of food, medicine or clothes, everything was given to them. So here he says, Abdul Kalam sir shows his gratitude towards his father that my childhood was very secure, both materially and emotionally. Materially means in terms of things, and emotionally means feeling in terms of love and affection. Everything was given to them, whatever necessity. And here the Abdul Kalam shows his gratitude. This was his greatest quality towards his parents and children. We should also show our love and gratitude towards our parents, as you all are in your childhood, and your everything is provided to you by your parents. In return, are we showing our love and emotions to our parents, that whatever they are giving, are we thankful? You should be. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to a provision shop on Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of the anna. Here Sir is telling, APJ Sir is telling, that in the year 1939 there was suddenly a world war broke out. At that time he was of 8 years old only, and he could not understand why there was a sudden demand of tamarind seeds. Tamarind means इमली के बीज. इमली के बीज की डिमांड एकदम बढ़ गई. And this sir used to collect the seeds and sell them in the provision shop. Provision means general shop, and from there he get the 6 annas. 6 annas means, he used to get one anna, and 1 anna means 6 paisa, and that he said there were more than sufficient for him, and that was the princely handsome money for him. My brother-in-law Jalaluddin would tell me stories about the war, which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Dinamani was the newspaper of that area. Our area, being isolated, was completely unaffected by the war. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces, and something like a state of emergency was declared. So, Abdul Kalam's brother-in-law Jalaluddin used to tell him the stories about the war, and the same story he used to tracely find out in the headlines of the Dinamani. Dinamani was the local newspaper. And he says our area being isolated means cut off from the other part of the country, so it was totally unaffected by the war. There was no essence of the war. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces. Allied forces means the army of UK, USA and Russia. And because of this, soon there was emergency was declared in the country. And after this only the area was affected. The first casualty came in the form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. The newspaper now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. So now the impact of the World War was that train that was coming from India and having the halt means a stoppage at the Rameshwaram. Now the first casualty means loss came in the form of the end of the train stoppage at the Rameshwaram. So now the train does not stop at Rameshwaram, and the newspaper are bundled and thrown from the moving train. So now people have to collect the bundles and has to distribute from the Rameshwaram station. That forced my cousin Samsuddin, who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram, to took for a helping hand to catch the bundles, and as if naturally I filed the slot. Samsuddin helped me earn my first wages. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my money for the first time. So yes, Sir APJ Kalam is telling that his cousin Samsuddin, who was distributing a newspaper in Rameshwaram, need the helping hand, that who can collect the bundle from the Rameshwaram. And Sir is telling that I was fit to fill the slot. Fill the slot means I was fit into a place easily. I can help him easily. So he started collecting the paper with his cousin, and Samsuddin helped me and earn my first wages. First wages means salary. He said Samsuddin gave me my first salary, and which filled him with the feeling of pride. Pride means sudden increase in the feeling of satisfaction. Sir Abdul Kalam was very much satisfied by earning his first salary, and he said that was a feeling of pride by my of money, earning my money for the first time. And I still remember that my hard work I did for that, and that was a matter of. Now we move on to the next para. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figures of authority. I inherited honesty and self discipline from my father, and from my mother, I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sisters. So, here, Sir Abdul Kalam is telling that uh, as a figure of authority, what do you mean by figure of authority? A person who has authority over other person. So he said, every person is born with the figure of authority. So as a child, who is his figure of authority? As a child, parents are the figure of authority, and next figure of authority can be his teachers. So he is saying, I inherited honesty and self-discipline. Inherited means a characteristics got from his family, from his parents, and from the family. Sir is telling that he inherited the characteristics of goodness and kindness from his father, and from his mother he inherited the faith in goodness and deep kindness, and he is telling the same qualities his three brothers and sisters also inherited from his parents. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramanand Shastri, Arvindan, and Shiv Prakashan. All these boys were from orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference among us ourselves because of a religious difference and upbringing. So now here APJ is introducing his three friends. They are the Ramanand Shastri, Arvindan, and the Shiv Prakashan. And all these boys were from the orthodox Hindu family. Orthodox means strict Hindu family. But these children never felt any differences because of their religion. Though Abdul Kalam belongs to a Muslim family, but religion was not a barrier to their friendship. They happily enjoyed their friendship. Religion never came in their upbringing. There was no difference between these children. Now, Sir Abdul is telling that in fact, Ramanand Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshman Shastri, the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Later, he took over his priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. So his friends, when they grew up, Ramanand Shastri became the priest of the temple, Rameshwaram temple, that he got a post from his father, who was also the priest, and Arvindam went into the business. He started doing the transport work, and for visiting those who want to visit the pilgrimage, he started the transport work. And Shiv Prakashan became a catering. Catering means the one who takes the contact of food in the Southern Railway, who runs the cafeteria in the railways. So this Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern. During the annual Sri Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony, annual means once in a year, and Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony means the ceremony of marriage. In South India, the Kalyanam ceremony known as the marriage utsav, the marriage of somebody is known as the Kalyanam ceremony, and Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony means here the marriage of Lord Ram and Lord Sita. So here Abdul Kalam sir is telling that when this ceremony used to take place, our family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site, situated in the middle of the pond called Ram Tirtha, which was near our house. So near Abdul Kalam's house, there was a pond named as Ram Tirth Pond, and this pond, once in a year, the marriage of the Lord Ram and Lord Sita was depicted by the people of that place. So here the message what the Abdul Kalam wants to give, that there was no barrier in the celebration of any function due to their religious differences. Though Abdul Kalam was religion, but still their family used to arrange boats that carry the idols of the Lord Ram and the Lord Sita from the temple to the pond, that pond known as the Ram Tir, and there the marriage was depicted known as the Sitaram Kalyanam ceremony. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. As a child, we all have heard the stories from our mother or grandfather or grandmother used to tell our stories in the bedtime. So the Abdul Kalam used to hear the stories from both the religion, from the Muhammad Sahab's stories also. At the same time, the mother used to tell the stories from the Ramayana also. So there was no caste barrier, no difference in his upbringing. He got the moral values from both the religions. One day when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as Muslim. Here APJ Kalam sir is telling that he used to wear a cap that tells him that he belongs to the Muslim family. And I always sat in the front row next to Ramanand Shastri. And where they used to sit, he used to sit in the first row next to Ramanand Shastri. Ramanand Shastri was from the Orthodox Hindu family. And Ramanand Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. This sacred thread is generally worn by the Hindus, called as the Janev. When he was in 5th standard, a new teacher came to in the school, in the elementary school. So let us see what happened after this. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. Stomach means could not tolerate. So this new teacher could not tolerate that a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. So what he did, in accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. So this new teacher told APJ Abdul Kalam to go and sit on the back bench because according to the social ranking, he cannot sit with the Hindu priest's son. I felt very sad, and so did Ramanand Shastri. Sir Kalam felt very bad, and at the same time Ramanand Shastri also very bad. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. He was feeling very odd. Downcast means sad or depressed. When APJ Abdul Kalam was shifting to the last row, he was feeling very depressed. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. So when APJ Abdul Kalam was shifting, the Ramanand Shastri was weeping. So his image of weeping left a lasting impression on me, means on the impression of the APJ Abdul Kalam. He also felt the sadness of his friend. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. So after school, when both the children went home, they told whole incidents to their parents. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher. Summon means call the teacher, and in the presence of the student, told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. So Lakshmana Shastri called the teacher and told that he should not spread the poison on the basis of religion or social inequality or any other community differences, because it just spread the poison in the minds of the innocent children. So this was the lesson from the Lakshmana Shastri to the teacher. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize. Bluntly means speak in a direct and honest way. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize means seek pardon, or quit the school and the island. Island means Rameshwaram too. So this Lakshmana Shastri told the teacher, you either take your pardon, you say you should be guilty for what you have done, or you should leave the school as well as the Rameshwaram also. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. That teacher not only felt guilty for his behavior, but a strong opinion or belief came in his mind that he was wrong. A strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed. Conveyed means transferred in his mind, that ultimately reformed this young teacher, and this changed the young teacher. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid. Rigid means strict. In the terms of segregation, segregation means separation of different social groups. As you know, earlier there were main four social groups based on the occupation what the people follow, like Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Shudras, and the Vaishyas. So the Rameshwaram casteism was not there, but this segregation was there on the basis of social group. However, my science teacher, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife, he was an orthodox Brahmin. Orthodox means one who strictly follows the religion. He was an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative wife. Conservative means traditional wife. Was something of a rebel. But this teacher was of a rebel. Rebel means in opposition. His nature was of opposition. Though he follows his Brahminism very strictly, but he was in opposition of the casteism. He want to remove this. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily. Mingle means to interact with each other. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on the par with the highly educated people of the big cities. Par means at the same level. This teacher always encouraged the Kalam that I want to be on the same level of the highly educated people of the big cities. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified. Horrified means terrified. For what she was terrified? At the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in a ritually pure kitchen. Ritually pure kitchen means it was away from the outsiders. Nobody from outside or from other religion were allowed to enter their kitchen. It was ritually pure kitchen. She was very much horrified that how can a non-Hindu, a Muslim boy can come to dine for the lunch in their home. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Shiv Subramaniam Iyer was not perturbed. Perturbed means he was not disturbed. Nor did he get angry with his wife. Even he was not angry also, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving his house, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Now this Kalam was when he was taking the dinner with his teacher. He was his wife. Teacher's wife was observing them from behind the curtain. And this Kalam sir was thinking, I don't know what she was observing. As I was drinking the water in different way, or I was eating the rice in different way, or I was cleaning the floor in different way. But in spite of this, sir invited him for the next time also. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset. Hesitation means doubt. When the teacher noticed his hesitation, he said, you should not be upset, saying once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. Once you decide that you have to change, you have to bring a change in the society, such problems have to be confronted. Confronted means tackled or faced. When I visited the house next week, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. So there was a drastic change in the Orthodox Hindu family. The Subramaniam's wife, when next time he visited, Sir Kalam visited the family, Subramaniam's wife herself took the Kalam to her kitchen and served him food with her own hands. Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Imminent was about to happen. Second World War was over in 1945 and India got independence in 1947. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. Gandhiji was the great icon of freedom. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Unprecedented means never done or known before. Optimism is hope or cheer. So everywhere in all over the India, there was a great positivity, the hope or the happiness of getting the independence. As Indians were thinking now the world wars were over and they will get the independence. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathanpuram. Ramanathanpuram was the district headquarters. So this APJ Kalam sir asked his father to give permission to leave Rameshwaram for the higher studies. He wanted to go to Ramanathanpuram, the district headquarters, to study, to get the higher education. His father said, he told me as if thinking aloud, Abul, I know you have to go to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? So his father told him, yeah, I know you need to go out if you want to grow. If you want to go higher in your life, you need to go. Then he gave the example of the seagull. He said, like the seagull is a bird which fly very high across the sun without his nest. Kalam's father said that if you want to grow, you need to leave your house and go out of house, and then only you can get the success. So he gave his permission to go to the Ramanathan. He quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. Hesitant means she was having little hindrance to send his son out. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Life longing means desire. They come through you but not from you. You may give them your love but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So Sir Kalam's father consoled her mother by quoting the famous line from the poem Your Children, written by the Khalil Gibran. He says that your children are not your children. They have come through you, but they have their own desire also. They have their own life. So let them fly. And so this way, Sir Abdul Kalam got the permission to go Ramanathanpuram for the higher studies, because he said they have their own thoughts. So students, this is a story of Sir Kalam's childhood, and hope you all have understood it. If you like my channel, please like it and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.